Hi, welcome to this week's show for the American Franchise Academy. My name is Aicha Bascaro, and I am the founder and CEO here in the Academy and head coach and number one supporter for franchisees. I guess we always call ourselves franchisee advocates and franchisor supporters because we believe that without franchises, many franchisees wouldn't have the opportunity to make the American dream of business ownership a reality. Because coming up with a way to build a profitable and proven brand is hard. And so that is how franchising provides so many entrepreneurs the opportunity to be able to own their business and achieve the time and financial freedom that they want and deserve. And so, in today's show or session, we are going to talk about something that we discuss a lot with our franchise clients. And that is, what is the role of the franchisee? See, what happens is that many franchisees are coming from a background in the corporate world, having had a job for a little while or for a long time, and having put together the money or achieve or have access to financing so that they can invest in a franchise so that they can achieve that financial and time freedom. And so when they get into franchising, they have a big shock of how different it is to be, a corporate employee, an employee in an organization versus owning your own business. What happens is that when you are an employee in an organization, your job makes what you do, your role, very clear. Your job and your role dictates what you do day in and day out. And someone defines your goals, your objectives, and how your job impacts the overall company's results. And so you're clear, and it's what you do every day. When you're an entrepreneur, though, or a franchisee, especially, that's not the case. What you do as a franchisee, as an entrepreneur, is different than what you do as a corporate employee, because you really had to look at the business as a whole. And so here at the Academy, we had defined that franchisees have three defined and clear roles as a franchise owner. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, the three roles of a franchisee. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with role number one. And the role number one is to protect and grow the brand. And I say, yep, that is the number one. Maybe not the number one in order of importance, but let's say that is the first role that you as a franchisee have. You have to protect and grow the brand. Because, see, first of all, you invested a significant amount of money in this franchise, in this proven brand that will be able to help you achieve revenue or sales, right? That is why you bought the brand. And because it is a proven brand that tells you that if you open it, people will come and buy from you. And so if you're going to invest that much money on something, shouldn't you protect it? Absolutely, you should protect it. And you should also help grow it, because the more that you grow it, the more that that brand will be recognized. And if the brand is recognized, that means that your business unit in the brand that you are running will be recognized, which will then bring you more revenue. So it is in your best interest to protect and to grow the brand so that your business then also grows and gets protected. Very, very important. And the way that you do that is in many ways. Number one is follow the standards that were defined that made that particular brand successful. And if you follow the standards, and which is the proven brand, the proven formulas for that particular brand, then you are more than likely be able to replicate that success when it comes to the revenue that that brand attracts. So not only should you follow the standards, in the best way that you can with a high level of excellence, but look around. And if you have any influence in your neighboring franchisees of the same brand, do everything within your power to inspire them to follow the standards and, with a high level of execution. Because, see, if one unit within that brand in a region is not operated properly and ends up getting a bad reputation, then your brand in the whole area will get a bad reputation. And that's one of the, I guess, negative things about being in a brand, is that your reputation is not only driven by how you operate, but also about how your fellow franchisees operates. And so one of you, which is why this is the reason why this is part of the role of protecting and growing the brand. Is not just about you protecting and doing the right thing with your organization, but if you are able to participate in your franchise associations and meet your neighboring franchisees and collaborate with them to make sure that everybody's doing their best to be great franchisees and leaders of that brand in the organization, it would only help everybody, including your own business and way of getting a revenue. Which is, what this is one of your roles in your organization. Follow the standards, inspire other franchisees to follow the standards so that you can all have a great brand that will bring you the revenue. See, the way that we see a brand is as a way for you to get revenue, a way to get sales, that income that hopefully will turn into profit. And I say hopefully because that is your second role as a franchise owner, and that is to protect and grow the business. See, when you buy a franchise, like I mentioned, you're buying a brand, but that brand does not automatically say that you're going to have profits. That brand, if it's a proven brand, what they're giving you is a vehicle for you to have customers come buy a product or service and give you revenue. So you will have a way to get revenue. Now, how much of that revenue becomes profit is completely up to you and your business systems. And so the second role is to protect and grow your business. And this is how you're going to be able to get the profits, right? And so what happens is that the way that you are able to get that profit is by implementing management systems in your business that you control. The franchisor is not going to come and tell you who you're going to hire, how you're going to hire them, how much you're going to pay them, how you're going to, motivate them or inspire them or recognize them, or how much bonus you're going to give them. They don't give you that. That's up to you. How fair you pay your employees and how you hire them is your job. That is your business systems that you need to have so that you can protect your business. They're not going to come here and analyze your profit and loss statements and seeing what your costs are and comparing to, other costs and expenses and give you this, guidance on how to manage your business. They might give you a little bit of guidance, but ultimately the decisions on how you protect and grow your business is up to you. They're not going to come also and tell you how to do local store marketing. Many franchisors, especially the mature, brands, they will probably give you access to a library of information and tools and graphics and resources so that you can execute your local store marketing. But ultimately, it is your decision how you apply that local store marketing. The same way that is your decision how you implement systems to control the costs and manage the waste in your organization, and how you manage this business, how you manage the cost, how do you manage the controls. That is what's going to bring you the profit and the business that you're going to ultimately have. And you know what? And you need to grow it, right? Because the more units you have, then of course the more exponential profits that you have. And so that is why, your second role is to protect and grow your business. Because you have the revenue, but if you don't protect your business, if you do not grow your business, then you don't have any profits. And that is your second role as a franchisee. And then the third role as a franchisee, what I would consider probably the most important role that you have, that is to, yes, protect and grow your people. Ultimately, this is the most important one, because if with no people, you have no business. Unless it is a one-man show where you're going to be doing some sort of business when you require no other person to do it, then I guess you don't need people. But then you're also not growing, and you're certainly not going to achieve, time freedom. If you truly want to achieve financial and time freedom, you must have a team of people to help you do that. And without them, you don't have a brand and you don't have a business. And so that is why I consider this the most important role of a franchisee, to protect and to grow your people. And, to make sure that you do that, there's certain things that you need to put in place. Again, systems, as we call them, systems and processes and procedure to manage your entire employee life cycle, right? And you need to start with, what kind of benefits are you going to have, to offer the employees? Because at the end of the day, people come to work for you because of the benefits and the opportunity that they see it potentially in your organization. And so what are those benefits? What make you better than other people, right? This is what your role as a franchisee is, to define why should people come work for you. Second thing is you need to is define the culture. What kind of culture they're going to come into? What is their experience going to be once they join your organization? Because is that culture that you're responsible to create is not a positive one, they're not going to stay. So do you know your turnover? If you want to have a clue about how you're doing in your role of growing and protecting your people, you might want to look at your turnover and see where you are with that. So once you have, that culture, what about your pay? Do you pay your people fairly? Do you give them incentives for them to be able to achieve more financial success? And of course, last but not least, do they see within your organization the opportunity? One of the great benefits that you have as a growing multi-unit franchisee is that you have opportunity to offer. Like, you can tell people, if you join my organization, you can eventually become a manager. You want them to become a manager, because the more managers that you are able to hire and develop, the more you're going to be able to grow. Because you and me know that finding the financing and opening locations is not difficult. You have to follow steps, you have to follow a procedure, but once you've done it once, twice, three times, it's pretty automatic. Now, finding the right people to lead those units and those businesses and those franchises, that is the hard part. But if you do a good job of having great benefits, are developing an amazing culture where people want and love to work at, if you give them a pay that is fair and an incentive and ways for them to make more money, and even better, the opportunity for future growth so that they can elevate themselves and their family for their future, that is your role as a franchisee. So as you can see, people are the key of success for your business. So if you were not 100% clear of what was your role as a franchisee, always think of these three specific roles. First, you need to protect and grow the brand that you invested in, so that gives you the ability to have the revenue so that you can achieve your financial goals. If you have the right brand and you protect it and your fellow franchisees protect it, that reputation will spread and will help you increase your revenue. Second role, you need to protect and grow your business. You need to have systems in place so that you can maximize the profit out of that revenue that the brand brings you. But for that, you have to have controls. You have to be able to have guidance and training and systems and processes and procedures so that you can reduce the waste and maximize the profits. That is the second role. And the last and third, but most important, is you need to protect and grow your people. If you do that, then you will have the employees that are going to be with you day in and day out as you're growing and you're expanding, so that you can then achieve your goals and your dreams of business, of time and financial freedom. So there you have it. If you weren't clear, you are now. I hope that you got something out of this message. And if you did, and if you are with us in the YouTube channel, please register to our channel, give us a little thumbs up, and join us every Monday at this time, where we share with you tips and information so that you can be successful in your business. Thank you for being with me today, and we'll see you next week at the same time, same place. Thank you, everybody.